So the Karajan Academy is now 40 years old. And it's strange because, of course, there are now so many imitations. There are so many academies of orchestras all over the world that you forget what an extraordinary and radical idea this was 40 years ago. I mean, we're delighted so many people have copied the idea. But it was the solution to a real problem, which is always the Berlin Philharmonic played in a rather different way to other orchestras. It's always been an extraordinary group of individuals who've come together and played somehow like a string quartet, just enlarged. But it involves a very different way of playing than you would employ in any other orchestra. And even I, as a conductor, like everyone else, had to come here and learn what different things you have to do. I hope there will soon be an academist conductor also. But 40 years ago, Karajan decided he would, with the help of a lot of generous, wealthy people who he had persuaded, that he would simply find the best young players in the world, players who'd finished their studies in their early 20s or so, and bring them as part of the orchestra, 20, 25 a year, spread through the sections, to simply be embedded in the orchestra like journalists are in a war now, being taught by the members of the orchestra, playing within the orchestra, playing as extra players, being thrown in the deep end, discovering really what it is to be part of this extraordinary organisation, to play chamber music, to be coached, and also to learn the philosophy of the orchestra and the responsibilities of a player, what it is actually to be a mensch in the middle of all this. And of course, as the orchestra has changed, as it has spread in its repertoire, both to very recent music and to very old music, all this has become more and more a part of the academy training. And so also the work in education and in the community. All these different things that orchestral players need to know now, we have to somehow instill within these 2 years. And I have to say, obviously, even from the outside, it was so obvious what a success it has been, because not only are many of our orchestral members now old academicians, including Walter, our principal, E-flat clarinet from the very, very first year, but all over the world you find academy students in leading positions in orchestras. So they've done something right. Part of the celebration will be what, for a better choice of word, I would call a monster concert this December. And a vast orchestra made up of old academicians, or let's call them former academicians, will play Bruckner's 8th Symphony with me. I'm the one foreigner allowed in, and a new piece specially written by Benedict Mason. We really hope it will be a wonderful concert, but it's going to be an extraordinary meeting of old friends. I'm sure very emotional and, incidentally, a hell of a party at the same time. So, happy birthday, Academy. Long may you continue to sail and influence all the next generations of musicians.